In agribusiness, the world's largest beef producer made big gains in the second quarter. Brazilian-based meat packer JBS reports profits of $83.6 million. That's over the same period of last year. The company credits the gains to expanding processing capacity in Brazil and the addition of poultry production. Meanwhile, equipment sales at John Deere remained strong last quarter. Deere reports a 13% gain in sales over the past 9 months, with a 15% jump in sales last quarter. It expects that momentum to continue through the year, resulting in record income in excess of $3 billion. Joining us this morning is Bob Utterback of Utterback Marketing. Bob, let's talk about crop insurance. Unfortunately, it's going to be pretty important this year.
It's going to be very important. I just completed a meeting with Rex William over in Defiance, Ohio. They're in a very especially hard-hit area. And a couple points that they pointed out that I would like to pass on to farmers. And also our agronomists are telling us that this is going to be an unusual occurrence this year. Alfatoxin could be a big exposure because of drought resistance. That drought causes aphid mold to become a problem. If you have more than 3 parts per billion, you can actually have a load discarded and basically can't sell it. It's strongly urged that one thing we learned yesterday was that the aflatoxin has to be inspected before it's harvested. You have to have the inspector, the adjuster, to come out and walk the field before the harvest, and you got to be at least 40% or below. And if you're going to harvest it, and the agronomists are telling you, you need to harvest it early at 29, so there's going to be a real problem there scheduling. And the reason they want you to harvest it early is because you can get that aflatoxin into the bin, dry it down, and so it won't become a problem. But with the aflatoxin and the test weight problem, we could potentially have a very unusual situation develop, especially I'm talking Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Kentucky, Tennessee, the drought areas, and maybe Missouri, is because the crop is relatively poor going in, hard to harvest, expensive to harvest, and now you can't store it. We might be dumping the corn at a time when we're super tight.
Right, right.
And that means that's going to affect basis short term. Could be a little wider at harvest than I really thought 30 days ago. But it says basis could be extremely explosive in Jan, Feb, March, April, May. So if you're a hog producer, cattle producer, you need to get physical control of this cash inventory that's in good quality as fast as possible. If you cannot buy the cash physical, and you're going to have to be along the paper futures, you probably need to consider 1.5 times your futures position, because the basis exposure could be almost as bad as a flat price exposure.
So there's a lot of things that go into making decisions here in the next few weeks.
It's going to be a very, very difficult time period, and you need to be working with us in the professional trade.
All right, thanks Bob. Thanks for being here. We'll be back with more Ag Day in just a moment.
To talk with Bob one-on-one, call Utterback Marketing Services, toll free at 800-832-1488.